I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I hope I get this up with more than just my nose on here. Um, I started to go to sleep, and I'm having some trouble. I got an appointment in the morning. I'm having ear problems and need clean air. Would help a lot. Anyway, um, I'm listening to this I was, about Nancy Pelosi and Speaker of the House and all this media, Illuminati media coverage of her and all her glory and all her Democrats and Elizabeth Warren, and she's um, getting together a committee, exploratory committee, so she can run for the presidency. And what really have they said other than stop and think about it? What's their solution to the overflow of immigrants that are coming up to the border, that are there, have been there, and the minute that you don't stop it, the more's going to come. They're going to overflow. Now then, you're so gun-ho, Nancy Pelosi. After this overflow starts, if they once get in, it won't be stopped. What are you going to do then? Play the victim? I'm nothing against the people from Honduras and from Guatemala, anything like that, because first of all, you all went there and you caused the chaos that's going on, making them leave their country now to come here, just like you did, that caused the immigrants or the migrants to come into the UK, to Australia, to Germany, to France, to Greece, etc. It's the Illuminati and without borders. So then you're all this one big global government, which you are anyway, as the United Nations, sitting up there in front of Rockefeller Group, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, all these upstanding people. They control everything now. The Kennedys, Roosevelts, some of my own family now, sad to say, that they're all way up in the global government that helped kidnap me and helped take down my country. The whole point was to take down the British Empire. Now then, I'm not saying this very well. I'm lying here and I'm really sick. So anyway, I'll go tomorrow, or I think, and anyway, see how it goes. I thought I had better words, I guess, when I was thinking there. I thought, no, I'm not going to get up. I'm just about asleep. But I'm watching Nancy Pelosi and I'm watching Anderson Cooper on CNN. His mother was one of the groups, she's older, that dates back to all this crap that was told about my mom, about my father. But when they've done it to my father, they've done it to my mom. Edward VIII, who never married Wallace Simpson. It was a bunch of bull to put. I mean, you can put all your flowery words on. Here's a bunch of bull. For once, call it like it is. Liars. How in heaven's name have they gotten away with it? But controlling your press. My father married my mom. Once again, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor. And he wouldn't follow the orders given to him by the Illuminati because, hey, he's the King of England. He's going to take up for his country and do the right thing. Well, this is what he got for it. The Illuminati took him down with character assassination, installed George VI. Illegal he is, but who's Elizabeth's father, and she's sitting up there now. At least I think she's she's supposed to be his daughter. Some people say Winston Churchill. I don't know. I don't know that. I know that she's illegal and should be tried as a traitor and a war criminal because that's what she is. Uh, there's, I know I'm not getting this up. I don't have prepared texts that I know of. I had a speechwriter that when I was in the campaign to replace Congressman Dr. Larry McDonald, oh my God, in 83, fall of 83, uh, during the campaign, Larry Flint of Hustler Magazine had helped me with, there was a speechwriter came, and she's very good. She was Harold Washington, the Chicago speechwriter for him, and beautiful lady, really. And so she came there. She did help me though. So she, cause she did all the back then commercials for the radios and everything. So she really did a job, except she didn't do my speech writing. And oh, where am I going with that? I don't know why I threw that in. I guess I just did because I don't have prepared text or anything. I did mine back then, and you know, I had never spoken before groups or anything. In fact, my life was terror because I was writing about mind control and murders, and like the shooting of Larry Flint was by a programmed shooter, just like George Wallace was shot. And they hide this, the Warren Commission hides this, that the cover-up, because they'd have to tell about me. The shooting of John Kennedy was in retaliation in part for what they did to me and my father and mother and my kids. And God help you if you have to see it all. So herein I'm going to stop. First of all, I'm going to say this. Nancy Pelosi, your little answer that you flippant put out and you walk across like you're and all the media praising you, and to heck with Donald Trump and all this. The one person who's trying to do what he's supposed to do, his job. And that's exactly what he's doing. I hope this is not a good cop, bad cop scenario. I hope Trump is good. What's your answer, Pelosi? You say something about let the border patrol and all this do their job. Excuse me, that may sound good to some people, all you friggin' Democrats. Y'all a bunch of crooks. You really seriously are. Your answer's what? Do their jobs? Well, how do they do their jobs with all this mass of people? And once the one huge group gets over, and they're using their children as, well, you know how they're using their children. Their children are getting put up there, and if one gets hurt, then this media that's supposed to be so good, this control media, and it sounds good to other people if you stop and filter it out. If a child gets killed, and that's sad, but they're using them hostage. They're putting them up there, and then the media picks up on it. So what if? I mean, they can't do all this. How are they going to do it? First of all, if they use tear gas, you're going to go after the border patrols. If you use bullets, you're going to go after them. So, in other words, you're tying their hands, but you're saying, let the border patrol do their jobs. But if they do, on the other hand, you got Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, and this media, this bunch of crap. It's the whole thing you cause the chaos, and then it's borders. There aren't any borders. There's not any. So you're one world government. And I guess the scenario is, if this all happened, if you start with the first sweep of the whole thing coming across, and there's no barriers, then you're at a time people are going to wake up and say, suddenly after it's all happened, my God, we don't have our homes, we don't have our jobs. Where do we put all these people? They're taking over the hospitals, they're taking over all these jobs, retirement. But there's such an onslaught, and once they're here, theirs is for their own self preservation. So what are you going to do then? Nancy Polosi and Elizabeth Warren call out the U.S. Marshals, have military control it. Finally, then it's over, I guess, for everybody. All this. I wanted. I know I'm not doing this very well here tonight. I was thinking about the last couple of days, and they make it sound good, like Trump's not trying to negotiate. Well, he has. It's you all that aren't. And making this grandstand at the last, what's today? The third, last couple of days. Had your grandchildren and children in up there, and having a blast, aren't you? One thing you will not touch and tell the truth is about me, Margaret Ann Windsor. I'm Victoria II, the legal monarch. And I'm not going to go into all that again. I put it up. There's no need to tonight. And here is what I wanted to say. You have stripped me, my children, what you've done, God knows. No wonder you want it told. And you are up there strutting your stuff like your little Miss Good Stuff and Elizabeth Warren. And all these other, you're taunting, this is women's that are finally getting elected and all this. Where were you all in 1978 and before, when I went to NOW, National Organization of Women? I went to Ms. Magazine. Well, she's Jewish, so you got the very people that helped kidnap me and did this to me and my children here, and to my father, and took him down because he had the guts to say no. Look what they did to him. Because they took my father down, he stood between the Illuminati taking over, and they ran past him after they took him down, and that's why you have the United Nations now, the global government in place right there, controlling everything, and it's countries without borders, nation without borders. It's just your one group up there. You know who's controlling it. So it's no need for you to think you're electing president or anything. So I'll stop the rambling. I suppose that's what I'm doing. But really gets me, finally they acknowledge the Native American, Indian. Well, that's nice. Finally you did it. Now they're going to use. And I know that if they're American Indian and Native American Indians, but there's male and female, it was long overdue. I've said that for a long time. I think what gets me is the hypocrisy that's carried out. As long as you don't go back and tell about Martin Luther King, the real story about JFK and his father Joe, who was ambassador to England by Roosevelt, another Jew, your president, it's ugly what you've done. And I'm skirting on 80 years old. Almost a breath away if I make it. God help me. But the song that comes to mind to me, and I've said it for a while, and here a lot of people won't remember it, and I know I'm up here. What time is it? Well, it's just 9:05. There's hardly anybody here anyway. It was Harper Valley PTA. It was a song by Jeannie C. Riley. And she wants to address the meeting of the Harper Valley PTA. They were making, in the song, they were making her out to be the bad person, the bad mom. She was taking care of her child and all this. And, well, It's a bunch of hypocrites, is what it was, and she wanted to address them. Oh, I can guarantee you, if I made it, Mrs. Polosi and Mrs. Warren, all the rest of you Harper Valley PTA, by the time I got through telling nothing but the truth, so help me God, you'd be run out of town. And you'd be known for who you are exactly. And the rest of you who have always known about my kidnapping, you as Elizabeth, Windsor Mountbatten. I guess that's who she is, who she's supposed to be. You've invited her up there and you've given her banquets and honored her and bowed to her, all knowing the truth. Your State Department has always known it. You had Eisenhower and Winston Churchill, etc., was in on the whole thing. Knew about the takedown of my dad and the fact that an imposter married Wallace Simpson, just like Anderson Cooper's mother. Anderson Cooper knows it. Do you hear any of these people telling the truth? Not one iota. So I'm going to stop here because you follow me. I guess I'd like to hear Nancy. Well, no, I wouldn't like to. I don't like to hear it at all. But what's her solution to all these people coming across the border? People stop and think, please. Okay, now then, I'm going to revert. I'm going to stop here. Because they wouldn't last a minute if I got up there. They really wouldn't. None of them. Because they've all known it. The Kennedys, the whole friggin' bunch. So, I think of the song, These Boots Were Made for Walking. Well, I got the boots. Somebody sent me those. Thank God I had some shoes. I've been without shoes in this land of the free and home of the brave, where you, Mrs. Polosi, and your bunch of so-called government officials are up there strutting your stuff. I have a pair of new boots. In fact, I have two pair of boots now. Holy crap. How much better off can I get? After all. Nancy Sinatra sang that song. That's Frank's daughter. He was in the group back then that was a party to my kidnapping. And I can go further on that if I ever get the chance, about Florida and a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I can. Sure can. So anyway, I've thought of that song for over and over the years. These boots were made for walking. Nancy Sinatra. And one of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. And I'm talking about the people that have stood by, that I've just talked about in this video. So help me God. I hope I make it.